What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rock Up Podcast. Rock Up Podcast is brought to you by Blackbird Tattoo and Piercing, 300 South State, Clearfield, Utah. Go in there and get tattooed or pierced. Now, if you thinking to yourself, Red, now ain't the good time to go get tattooed or pierced for me. I gotta run around, do a bunch of Christmas shopping, holiday parties, family parties, yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. You know what makes a killer Christmas gift? Is a gift certificate from Blackbird Tattoo and Piercing. They have them. They're ready to go. All you gotta do, stop in the shop, say, hey, I want to buy a gift certificate, put some fucking money on the table, biggity bam, Bob's your uncle, Christmas shopping done. And who doesn't love a gift certificate for tattoos and piercing on Christmas morning? I know Santa Claus would probably appreciate it. So yeah, go in there, check that shit out, buy a gift certificate for your family or loved ones. That's a great Christmas gift. This Christmas gift I always wish I had. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I know I did. I cooked for 9 people this year. Made myself a champagne-based turkey, which I will never not do a champagne-based turkey again. That thing was so juicy and succulent. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. So, you get yourself a bottle of cheap champagne, a little bit of the chicken broth, mix that shit up. Every half hour, baste your turkey. Turned out very, very fucking juicy. So, I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and spent time with family and loved ones. I know I sure did. Well, let's start the fucking show, shall we? Irredeemable by Zealotry. Fuck, man. I didn't realize that song was 10 minutes long, or else I probably would have chose a different song. Well, what's done is done. That was 10 minutes of headbanging fucking chaos. Whatever. It was a cool song, anyway. Toward the end there, it started to remind me of Conan the Barbarian, like the music in the background with the weird, like, monk chanting shit. Anyway, Zealotry's pretty badass band, so check them out. So I got a whole lot of music news for you. Speaking of the musics, which I was. Slayer played their last show last week, and I guess they played it with Primus and Ministry and Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, who basically did a whole bunch of Pantera covers. And now it seems like the Zakk Wylde Pantera thing might happen. But I don't know if you guys caught the footage or not of Aquaman, Jason Momoa, up on stage with Phil Anselmo and I think like his niece or something, singing This Love. That was pretty cool. I didn't realize Jason Momoa was such a metalhead, which is always nice to see that from like a fucking big time celebrity Aquaman figure. And then Slayer played, and man, it's sad. You know what? I know a lot of people want to talk shit on Slayer. I know they have a good fucking amount of haters, but heavy metal music would not be what it is today without Slayer, without those fucking trailblazers. And one of my favorite memories, they did the Seasons of the Abyss tour, I don't know, a few years ago. My oldest son was like 14, 15 years old, and we went and saw, and it was me and my son standing next to each other, singing every word to every song. It was incredible. It was such a super special moment for me and my boy to see Slayer together and, you know, sing their words and sing their songs and just enjoy that shit. So I think it's sad that Slayer's calling it quits now, but it's good timing. You always want to leave the people wanting more. You don't want to hang around forever and ever and ever like the fucking Rolling Stones did. Because, have you seen the Rolling Stones? Holy shit. Like, it's fucking like The Walking Dead up there on stage. The fucking English Walking Dead with fucking Mick Jagger's collagen lips and swiveling his little 90-year-old hips and shit. You know, I give him credit for still doing it, but holy shit, man. No one hang up your fucking boots. And I love the Stones. I love the fucking, like, old Stone stuff. It's just like, call it a day, dude. You know, you want to leave the people wanting more. You don't want to overstay your welcome. You always want to leave people wanting more, just in case. And I feel that way about Ozzy now, too. Like, Ozzy's new song, it's fucking boring. It sounds like the same soft rock bullshit he's put out for the last 20 years. I don't know, man. I'm not fucking into it. But Slayer, last show. So it's bittersweet. I think they're calling it a day at a good time, at the perfect time. So, you know, respect and love to them because they paved the way for a lot of heavy metal music. And speaking of heavy metal music, Wargrinder is working on some new material. I believe he just sent it all to the label. I've heard one song from it, and it's really fucking good. I'm going to play it for you in a week or two. But you know, I talked to the guy, and he said, you know, I'll send you the song, but, you know, wait like a week or two so the label can get it and the label can do like an official release. So, since he was nice enough to fucking, you know, send me the song, I'm definitely going to respect his wishes. Plus, you know, He's a great guy, and I've talked to him a few times over the interwebs. So War Grinder, man, be on the lookout for that. And then Ritual Genocide, December 20th, has something coming out, an album or an EP, whatever. But yeah, man, fucking Ritual Genocide's putting something out, so I'm very fucking excited about that. That is December 20th. So keep your eyes peeled, and as soon as they release it, I'll try to fucking post something on the page here or something, so you guys will know to go and pick up that fucking Ritual Genocide shit, because that band is fucking badass. But on the show front, one band I've had their material for a while, and I really enjoy their music. I think it's great. Is a band called Worsen, and they're playing I think it's like their first show in Charlotte, North Carolina, on January 30th with Toke, Green Fiend, and a band called Edith. But yeah, man, if you guys live over on the East Coast toward the South, definitely go check out Worsen, because I've been meaning to play them for you guys for a while now, and I don't have the memory that I used to have. Definitely check out Worsen. I'll be playing some of their music probably next week. But yeah, man, fucking check that band out. They have a Facebook. You go check out whatever, But they have music up on their Bandcamp, so buy it because it's worth it. It's really fucking good. Kind of blackened death metal kind of stuff. I don't know. Genres are hard to describe, and I really don't like applying them to a lot of bands, but I think this band would be up your alley if you like the stuff that I play. And then on the note of bands on tour, especially from Europe, Rotting Christ is going to be coming through doing an extensive fucking U.S. tour around March. Yeah, they're going to be in my area around March. They're going to be in Utah March 24th with Borknagar, Wolfheart, Abigail Williams, Imperial Triumphant. So look up when they're doing your area and go check that shit out. It's going to be like an extensive fucking tour. It's going to be like all over the U.S., a lot of dates. I mean, if they're coming to Utah, chances are they're coming to your neck of the woods. So get on that. It's one of those Devastation on the Nation tours that they did not too long ago. It's a North American tour. This March, maybe before or after March. So definitely go check that shit out. Rotting Christ is pretty badass. They're pretty great. So yeah. And then last but not least for my little show announcements, Bloodbath, one of my personal favorites from Sweden, are going to be playing Denver May something. Let me look it up. May 29th at the Gothic Theater in Colorado. So I message my son and I say, hey man, May fucking 29th, Bloodbath is going to be playing Denver. Would you want to go on a little road trip? A little 8-9 hour drive from Salt Lake City to Denver to see Bloodbath play. And he's like, all that way to see one band? I'm like, no, motherfucker, not all that way to see one band. It's all that way for a good time. And I don't know. This fucking kid, man, I don't know what to tell you. He's just being a little stick in the mud. So, if you know my son, message him and tell him to go on a road trip with his daddy to fucking Denver to see Bloodbath. And, hang out with some Denver folk. I want to go to True Brew. I want to go to True Brew, I want to go by fucking Mr. Nice Guys, Check that shit out. And also hang out with some Denver folk. Hang out with some Colorado folk. So, yeah, man. Bloodbath. playing in Inglewood, Colorado, May. I think I'm gonna try to go to that shit. I think I'm gonna go check it out because Bloodbath's just doing a few dates, and they're not doing like a big extensive tour like Running Christ is. So I'm gonna try to go check that out because I thought that the Arrow of Satan is Drawn album that they just released recently was pretty fucking tits. I was into it the second I heard it. Unlike the new Deicide album, which I thought was a big bore. So yeah, man, go check those shows out, check those bands out, support the real metal, support real motherfuckers doing some shit. I know Fever and my friends in the Cultist Ritual gonna be putting out a split pretty soon, and I'm very excited about that because I think Fever is fucking badass, and Occultist Ritual is just getting better and better. So, support the real shit, support the fucking heavy underground, death, black, grind, what have you. Support the real shit, and go check out some shows, motherfucker. Go check out some concerts, and yeah, man. Go on a couple road trips. You want to work so that you can enjoy life. You want to work to live, not live to work, Earning money is great and all, and necessary, absolutely, but that shouldn't be the be-all, end-all of everything in your fucking life, man.
Pour la France! En avant!
Verdun by 1914. 1914 is a wildly fascinating band to me. They're from Czechoslovakia. The name 1914 is, about World War I. All of their music is about the First World War. All of it. Their full-length album, Eschatology of War, has clips from World War I, songs that people would play at the time. Just fascinating stuff. And the music's really, really good too. Really heavy and, but intelligent and, good musicianship. I learned of 1914 from David Ingram of Benediction, Hail of Bullets, Down Among Dead Men. He has a podcast where he plays a lot of heavy metal music, and he's really fucking funny. But his podcast is called Metal Breakfast Radio. I hear a lot of... I listen to that one a lot. I hear new bands on it a lot. If they pique my interest, then I'll write them down on my phone, and when I get home the next day from work, I'll check them out. But he did guest vocals on a song of theirs called Passchendaele. And it's a tremendous song and a great fucking band. So I highly recommend checking out 1914. Probably one of the most interesting bands I've ever heard. They have a whole concept behind them. They have people dress up in 1914 army-like regalia, and they're, from the land of Czechoslovakia. Which, ironically, is where one of my favorite beers is from, that Lev Black Lion. So, one of my favorite bands and one of my favorite beers are both from Czechoslovakia, which is interesting. It makes you want to go there and check out the place. But yes, I highly recommend checking out Metal Breakfast Radio, hosted by David Ingram, and then, more importantly, check out the band 1914, because I think they're just tremendous. I think they're fucking fantastic. Alright, let's switch gears here. So if you're a friend of mine on Facebook or follow any of my stuff at all, it's not going to surprise you that I am a big supporter, big believer in the mission of Operation Werewolf, headed by Paul Wagner. Well, a few days ago, without notice, warning, or heads up, or anything like that, the official Operation Werewolf page on Instagram was taken down with no warning whatsoever. And we've seen this happen with other people that are outside, on the fringes of society. You can't really put a specific label on why or what they are. If you are outside of it, it is part of the unknown, and that always scares people who have power, and the people who run Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. They have power of their platform that they can say, yes, this type of thing is okay to put out or say, and this other thing is not. Which is all within their right. It is their platform. We simply use it. But of course, if a few people stop using it because they choose to suppress certain people's words, they're not going to notice and or care. But if the major populace chooses to stop using these said platforms because of the suppression of free speech, then they might have to make a determination on what they really define as freedom of speech, what is community standards or a violation thereof. Recently, Tinfoil Hat was taken down from YouTube, and it's a podcast where they talk a lot about conspiracy theory. You know, there's always going to be conspiracy theory about everything. So this podcast discusses those. And it's hosted by Sam Tripoli. He's a comedian. Obviously, a lot of the things he says is going to be, outlandish or just kind of balls to the wall, a bit nuts, but entertaining and fun at the same time. Well, they saw fit to take Tinfoil Hat down, but because Sam Tripoli has connections to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan knows the people who run YouTube, they were able to get Tinfoil Hat put back on YouTube. But back to the Operation Werewolf thing. There is nothing in any of their propaganda or message that is offensive or oppressive to anyone who is not a giant fucking pussy. If you are the type of person who believes in self-determination and power and strength, nothing that is ever put out by Operation Werewolf would offend you. In fact, you would immediately identify with it and agree with it, which is why I do and why I support it and, made myself part of this. On that note, I'd like to read a statement that Paul Wagner, who started Operation Werewolf and Wolves of Inland, made about the taking down of Operation Werewolf official Instagram page. And it goes like this. This morning, Instagram has deleted Operation Werewolf official with no explanation. They don't need to give one. We know why, and so do they. The answer is simple, as always. There is no need to silence a lie, but the truth is dangerous to those who fear it. We advise anyone who wishes to support Operation Werewolf and remain, quote-unquote, in the loop to subscribe to our main email list by clicking the link below. In 2020, the effort redoubles. Our cause is just, and our war is a holy one. And then he posts a link to get enlisted to an email list. He's 1,000% right. There's no need to silence a lie. In fact, we're told lies every day with the sheepskin of the truth. But once you actually put out something that is powerful and truthful and inspiring and influencing people to become more self-reliant, people to become stronger mentally, physically, spiritually, that becomes a threat to the Matrix. And I, for one, would much rather be a threat than a fucking sheep.
willful ignorance and replace them with his own allegiances and concepts. He adheres to the abundant explanations of natural law to inform his Weltanschauung, and is unswayed by the unwholesome propaganda of media or government, knowing that they are merely two fangs of the same serpent.
Sa résolution à faire tomber leurs empires en devient seulement plus pure. Car dans son cœur qui brûle, il sait qu'ils ont bien raison de craindre le démon.
They relabel this other with vile bywords, ban its adherents from their cobwebbed courts and crumbling kingdoms, and warn all citizens of their empire as nothing. These are bad men, villains, outlaws, rulers among the fold to be attacked on sight or shunned, relegated to outer darkness. But the outlaw has grown in darkness, and he is accustomed to its embrace, and he only becomes more hardened in his resolve to see their empires crumble, because in his burning heart, he knows they are right to fear the devil.
That was Traité du Rebelle by Miss Bass Mahash. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you all for tuning in to another Rock Up podcast. I love having you guys tune in. I appreciate it very much, and I will post links for the bands and the mission.